We're going to turn now. We've got Sachin Shah on the phone. He's been a favorite here on Fast Forward. Sachin is special situations and merger arbitrage strategist at Tullett Prebon Americas. And he says today's DOJ suit does not mean this deal is dead. Sachin, thanks so much for joining us from Jersey City. Hope all is well down there.
Hi, Lisa. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Hey, what do you think about this? Was this a surprise to you?
No, it's not a surprise to me. It's obviously a wake-up call. So, you know, as we discussed when the deal was announced back in March, this was going to be an uphill battle. So this is obviously a big warning in the context that the DOJ and now the FCC is going in front of, rather than negotiating with the companies, is actually making these releases and statements and obviously holding these conferences, press conferences that they essentially did earlier. So it's not a surprise. You know, as I said previously in some of the comments that I sent over, the DOJ is known for suing when it comes to transactions like this, when there's significant market share. In this case that they're basically discussing, it's 90% market share. So, you know, previously a deal that I've covered is the Verifone Hypercom deal, and they sued in that transaction, which was a 60% market share, Lisa, and eventually there was concessions that were made, and the deal was approved. So this is a situation where, obviously, when they held a press conference earlier, they're suing AT&T, trying to stop this transaction, but they also said that they were available for remedies. You know, at the end of the day, as I say to most of my yoga students, you know, sometimes, you know, the most difficult asanas, you know, can yield the most reward. In this deal, Lisa, it's a $39 billion transaction. There's a net present value of $40 billion in synergies. So this deal, if they get close to the finish line and close, there's a lot of reward for AT&T shareholders. And obviously there's a $3 billion termination fee, and it behooves them to work with the DOJ and obviously the FCC to get this deal to the finish line.
Right. So big fat namaste there, keeping with the yoga theme, Sachin, for AT&T. But let's talk about the breakup fee, that $3 billion fee, clearly a big incentive, for another incentive for why this deal should go through. But you think that the first quarter of 2012, that is the date they were targeting. Are we going to see this deal close by then?
It probably will not. So, Lisa, one of the issues that I've had when I've said that this is an uphill battle, you cannot have AT&T CEO, chairman, and other executives for both companies, including Deutsche Telekom, saying openly, publicly, that the deal is done. It's going to get done. It's going to get approved. So that may be the reason why the DOJ has come out in a press conference and saying, well, it's not approved. It's not done. You still have to work with us to get this deal approved and negotiate with us. So the other thing here is I want to mention is about Skype. Okay, so the DOJ came out and said this is a 90% market share. Nobody's really referring or referencing Skype, and I think that's important, Lisa, in the context that Skype is being acquired not only by Microsoft for $8.5 billion, but that is an indirect competitor of these guys. So although you're going to have consolidation, you could make the case that prices are going to increase, but Skype is essentially free, Lisa. And so customers could say, you know what, I don't want to pay these higher monthly fees. I don't want to deal with the aggravation of AT&T, but they could gravitate to another alternative platform, and Skype is one of them. The other important issue here is the CWA, the Communication Workers of America, essentially a union representing 7,000 plus individuals or workers. You would think that they would come in, with the DOJ rather than against the DOJ. They said that this deal is going to create 97 or approximately 100,000 jobs. So this is becoming a mandate for jobs because the DOJ, aside from saying that they're suing AT&T, said today that this is going to cut jobs. And so the DOJ is talking about jobs. The CWA that represents workers saying this is going to create jobs. So is this, you know, this is going to be a mandate for jobs, but also how much negotiation and concessions that AT&T gets through.
All right, Sachin, thank you so much for joining us. Got to leave it there, but it sounds like clearly a long way to go before we can say that this deal is definitely done. Thanks so much, Sachin. Have a great August, rest of the August, by the way, if I don't speak to you before then. That was Sachin Shah of Tullett Prebon Americas. He is an arbitrage specialist there, always giving us great insight.